Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué está haciendo, huh? What are you doing? Many people have been still asking, what does Sosua Beach look like after they tore down 35 vacant casitas that were not being used? And this is the end of the beach closer to Los Jeremicos. And in the background, you'll see a few of the casitas that have been torn down. And again, they had made agreements with the government to vacate. And so you will not find many changes to Sosua Beach other than those demolitious buildings. So everything is as normal on the beach, except for those units that have been taken down. But today, we want to talk to you about the election, the inauguration, and the installation of Donald J. Trump, the 47th Prime Minister, as yesterday. It is 12:24 local time here in Dominican Republic. And yesterday, Trump was inaugurated and took his chair in the Oval Office and signed 200 executive orders canceling a lot of what Biden put in and bringing this new mandate that he claims he was elected on by winning the popular vote and the Electoral College in the United States. And weeks ago, I congratulated the United States, not because they elected Trump, but because they got it done on Election Day. And the United States wasn't thrown into massive chaos and a state of unknowing, which the markets do not enjoy. And I predict that the markets will surge today. That remains to be seen. But because I don't have the knowledge, I asked Grok what the impact was. This is the exact question I asked Grok. Grok 2 answered the question, what was the election to Donald Trump due to affect the Dominican Republic? Now, this is, dictated to my phone, and so the verbiage isn't exactly correct, but what I was asking is what would the election of Donald Trump do to affect the Dominican Republic? And Grok, surprisingly, came back with some really good answers. Don't Google anything. Just Grok it from now on. Grok, you get it on X with a paid subscription. It is a much better search engine than anything Google or Bing or Ask Jeeves. Is that thing still around? No, I doubt it. Can do. So the answer, word for word, the election of Donald Trump had several effects on the Dominican Republic, both direct and indirect, based on policy changes, economic impacts, and shifts in diplomatic relations. The impact on the economy. Economic impact during Trump's presidency, remittances from Dominicans living in the United States increased significantly. So, what? They're doing their taxes more under Trump? This is partly due to the robust U.S. economy at the time, and perhaps due to fears of policy changes affecting immigrants' ability to send money home. However, his administration's focus on bringing jobs back to the U.S. could have potentially discouraged foreign direct investment in the Dominican Republic, especially in sectors like nearshoring that might have benefited under a different U.S. administration. That comes from EIU.com. Grok sources the information and then also credits where the information came from. Migration policies. Trump's aggressive stance on immigration and his policies aimed at curbing illegal migration from Latin America had indirect implications for the Dominican Republic. His administration's approach was seen by some in the Dominican Republic as supportive of their own strict immigration policies, particularly regarding the Haitian migrant situation. This sentiment was reflected in posts on X, where Trump's policies were viewed positively by some Dominican nationalists for aligning with their views on immigration control. Dominican nationalists. Nationalist is a bad word now, isn't it? You're not allowed to refer to people as nationalists. That means you're a right-wing zealot and a bigot and a, Grok 2 goes on to say trade relations. The Dominican Republic, Central America, Free Trade Agreement, the DR-CAFTA, was not directly threatened by Trump's policies, but his administration's overall rhetoric on trade could have introduced uncertainty. His focus on reducing trade deficits and renegotiating trade terms might have caused excuse me, I got a curmy in my throat, and my monetization doesn't allow me to play videos all the way through without interruption. His focus on reducing trade deficits and renegotiating trade deals might have caused some concerns about the future trade relations, though the actual impact was more on sentiment rather than concrete policy changes during his term. EIU.com again was the source for that. Social issues. Trump's administration was less likely to pressure the Dominican Republic on issues like LGBTQ plus rights or abortion compared to previous U.S. administrations. We do know that Joe Biden did make a trip to the Dominican Republic, not long ago. Maybe not him, but his people. This was seen as positive by some in the Dominican Republic who held conservative views on these topics, according to sentiments expressed on X. Diplomatic relations. The Trump administration's approach to Latin America, focusing more on realpolitik rather than promoting human rights or social agendas, might have been perceived as giving the Dominican Republic more leeway in its domestic policies without external critique. This shift could have implications for how the Dominican Republic navigated its international relations, especially with neighbors like Haiti. Again, same source. Well, I guess I just could go to EIU.com and read the whole thing, but Grok has summarized it nicely here. And the next is from Newsweek. Real estate and business. There were concerns about potential conflicts of interest due to Trump's business dealings in the Dominican Republic. Although a significant real estate project was abandoned, the possibility of new deals was discussed, raising questions about the emollients clause of the U.S. Constitution. This did not directly affect policy, but highlighted potential ethical issues. Overall, Trump's presidency had a complex impact on the Dominican Republic, influencing economic flows, migration policies, and the diplomatic landscape in nuanced ways, with some sectors seeing benefits while others faced uncertain or indirect challenges. And it goes on to say, when Grok was prompted, where was Donald Trump's real estate project in the Dominican Republic? Grok answers, Donald Trump's real estate project in the Dominican Republic was planned for the Cap Cana development, located on the eastern coast of the Dominican Republic, near Punta Cana. The project was to be a luxury resort and residential complex called Trump at Cap Cana, or Trump International Hotel and Tower Cap Cana, but it was ultimately abandoned. So maybe I will include the links for these articles and information. It's a little bit dated. It was 2018, the Newsweek article that talked about Trump's real estate venture down here in the Dominican Republic. But I can tell you what's good for America is good for the Dominican Republic. And the better that America does, the better the whole world does, really. But, DR does fall in line with that as well. So I expect to see the dollar strong, to see trade strong, the economy strong, and multiple sources of revenue coming into the Dominican Republic. First of all, being real estate investment. I mean, if you look, especially in Canada, wow, the real estate values are out of control. So much so that young people can't seem to even get into the real estate market. Forget buy a house. Even getting into the rental market is crazy. It's tough. And so as this proceeds, we will monitor it a little bit more and see exactly what the effect of Donald Trump's election, inauguration, and installation into the White House in the United States, what effect it could have on us here in the Dominican Republic. We're out of the rainy season now. It's 12:35 local time, and it's 80 degrees, 81 degrees. So we are forecasted for the next 10 days of straight sunshine, with having a low of 69 and a high of 84. It's back. The rainy season is hopefully gone. We had 3 months of a foot a month accumulation. That's 3 months, 3 feet of rain. Ay, ay, ay. Lo siento. No bueno. So anyway, you can reach me directly on the cell phone by calling me or by texting me at 1-809-330-8926. You can also get me on WhatsApp. That's the best way to do it. I mean, you can always shoot me a messenger on Facebook, but the best way to get me is on WhatsApp at 1-809-330-8926. By email, it's buyingdominicanrepublic@gmail.com. And I hope that you're having a great day. Peace, love, hug your neighbor, and I am out. Ciao.